Okay.
Sevgili öğrenciler, değerli misafirler, belki de üniversiteye girecek adaylar. Biz her yıl olduğu gibi 6-7 sene oldu. Her yıl bahar konferansları diye bir faaliyet yapıyoruz. Ve bu bahar konferanslarında yani öyle sıradan kişileri çağırmıyoruz. Öğrencilerimize, tekstil ve moda tasarımcılarına yön verecek kişileri seçiyoruz. Bunlar çoğu top olan dediğimiz kişilerdir. Konusunda uzman olan konferansa eleman çağırıyoruz. Şu andaki herhalde 5. olacak, 5. veya 6. konferansımız oluyor. Susanna, Makerova'yı uzun yıllar tanıyoruz. Aşağı yukarı 3-4 yıl oldu. Kendileri Rusya'da Çerkezya var, Adige başşehirleri. Oradaki Adige State University, Adige Devlet Üniversitesi'nde İngilizce ve işte iletişimler konusunda profesördür, hocadır orada. Tanışmamızın sebebi bir önceki bizim rektörle babası o zaman o üniversitenin rektörüydü. Arkadaştılar iki rektör. O şekilde bizim üniversiteye ziyarete geldiler. Rektörle bu Susanna'nın babası oluyor. Başka elemanlar da vardı. Bizim fakülteyi gezdiler, bizim bölümü gezdiler. Bizim bölümü gördüklerinde hayran kaldılar. Dediler harika, bizde böyle bir şey yok. Var ama bu kadar gelişmiş değil. Bizlere gerek olduğunda yardım eder misiniz? Her türlü yardımı yaparız dedik. Kendileri 8. yıl oldu uluslararası, dünyada ilk uluslararası etnik tekstil moda defile yarışmaları düzenliyorlar. Biz de 3 senedir onlara katılıyoruz. Konuda çok deneyimler bu işi defileyi düzenlemede profesyoneller tamamen. Evet. Şimdi önce bir İngilizce'de bir söyleyeyim konuşmacımıza, sonra başlayacağız. Bu arada konuşmanın konusu biliyorsunuz etnik fütürizm diye temelde bu konuda. Evet. Şimdi İngilizce kısa olarak diyelim. Welcome Susanna. I briefly told about you. We met about 3-4 years ago. Where your father, which was the rector of your university, Adige State University, and I was close friend at that time on our rector. So your father and some of their friends came visit our department, and they find very interesting and say if we can do any cooperation. We said we can do any help, it doesn't matter, we like to. And there are the Susanna Makerova at this university, they are holding international ethnic textile moda. Sorry, I put some Turkish word, ethnic fashion, textile fashion festival. She is organizing it. Susanna organized it. It is all the Russian government supports it. As I know, at this topic, it is the first in the world. Ethnic textile fashion show. They call it Ethno Fair. It's about 8 years they are doing this activity. Last 3 years, we are from our department, we also join this competition, international this fair. Yes, yeah, we can start. Okay, during the talk, she will talk in natural English. I told her if it's possible, can you talk in English a bit, not high level, a bit lower level, so letting almost everyone, all the students and other audience to understand it. In some case, I also translate into Turkish, but not all, maybe briefly, the main points. Okay, the talking will be around, let's say, 40 minutes, 35 to 45 minutes. Then there will be 10 or 15 minutes questions. Okay? Yeah. Please, Susanna, you can start.
Thank you ever so much for having invited me. So on behalf of the administration of the Adige State University, I would like to thank you personally, the head of the Department of Fashion, Design and Textile of the Istanbul University of Commerce, and of course
Istanbul Commerce University.
Istanbul Commerce University.
Istanbul University is different.
Oh, I see. Istanbul Commerce University. And the head of the university, Professor Yüksel Ogurlu, thank you ever so much, because I think this is a really important occasion to make this cross-cultural, international projects, and to speak about things that really matter now in the modern world when we are facing global processes, but we still want to focus on our self-identification and speak about culture, cultural heritage, traditions, some traces left by our ancestors, and prolong the lives of those who gave us the chance to live in a beautiful world, surrounded by beautiful symbols that really matter and that have their meaning. So the most difficult search for the inquisitive man's mind is the search of the origin, actually. So every kind of art has appeared from somewhere, but going down staircase of the time to its sources, you find a mysterious chains of transformations. And today we will speak about those transformations because we have our history, we have vast heritage, but the world is different now. So we need to change, and we are changed. Today we are not the way we used to be. And it is all about our personal characteristics. It is all about our social and cultural environment. So I would like to start with a famous...
Yeah, let me a bit translate it. Ya genellikle öncelikle bizim bölümden bahsettik. Kendileri de geldiler. Onu söylemeyi unuttum. 2 yıl kadar önce bu koronavirüsten önceki son yaptığı her sene defile düzenliyoruz mezun olacak öğrencilerimize. En son 2 sene önce yaptığımızda kendileri de geldiler, ziyaret ettiler. Hatta bir hediye de verdiler defilemize. Bölümümüzü gördüler. O bölümümüzün iyi olduğundan, yeterli olduğundan, altyapısı ve hocalar olarak çok impresif olduğundan bahsettiler. Ondan sonra genel olarak anlatacağı konuya değindiler ve konu olarak yani bu eğilimlerin tekstil tabii tasarım olayı bunun zaman içerisinde değiştiğini. Ya bu arada söyleyeyim, kendilerinin markası da vardır, SuzieM diye. Oldukça da başarılıdır. Yani o konuda her yönüyle iyidir. Evet, please go on.
And I would like to start with a famous legend. We have so many of them, but the one which is really beautiful and just to create the atmosphere of originality, of authenticity. So this is a short extract. Once upon a time, there was a very beautiful Circassian young lady called Susanna. She was the most skillful seamstress all over the world. And there was a young knot blinkers maker with whom Susanna competed for making the most beautiful handicraft within a day to prove your skillfulness. Both of them,
please, this is very high class English, as I understand. So it's, as I understand, in the Kafkasya'da bir bayan varmış. Ve bu sanat konusunda çok deneyimliymiş. Evet, you go on, please.
So both of them worked very hard all day, but the young blinker maker was faster to finish his work and sat down to have a rest. But for Satanai, she couldn't complete work before the sunset. She had some work to finish. Oh, the sun, I wish you would stop for a while, asked Satanai. At those times, Shall I continue? At those times when a knot asked for something, it was always true. It always came true. And having seen Susanna's embroidery piece of work, the son was charmed by her magnificent handicraft, and so began to wait until Susanna would finish her sewing. Having sat all day long, Susanna was very tired. She stood up, stretched herself, put her new dress on, and showed it to a young knot. So they speak truth about you, Susanna. You have made a very beautiful dress indeed, said the knot. From that time on, at evenings, the son usually stops, as if thinking for a while. It means that, so, shall I stop here?
Yeah, you explain it.
You know that women were really good at sewing in former times. And it was even a competition between those who were better.
This is history.
This is a history, yes. But actually it was like this, because young women, they were really good at embroidery making, galloons making, and they competed, and it was such a difficult and hard. It was so difficult and hardworking that even the son noticed their efforts. And they say that before the sunset, the sun stops for a while, enjoying the moment when Susanna is sewing something exquisite, as if just trying to, admiring her. As if admiring her. It means that this is really specific, and this is really important for us, those skills that we have in our hands, and those things that we made with our hands.
Ya şöyle, yani once upon a time in Kafkasya'da bir kadın varmış, genç. Bir sanat eseri yapıyormuş. Giysi, işte eksikleri vardı, tamamlıyordu onu. Oğlu vardı, ona bazı yorumlar yapıyorlar. Sonra güneşin batmasına yakın değişik bir görünüm olmuş. Ve sonuçta bir eser yapmışlar şeklinde diyelim. Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to give a short review on the historic development of ethnic fashion. And speak about different fashion houses that worked in this field and produced impressive collections.
Şimdi burada etnik tekstil tasarım modası üzerine konuşacak, değişik kültürlerden bahsedecekler. Yeah. Please.
Okay. So I prepared actually they prepared it for me, the presentation. The diachronic analysis of the development of ethnic fashion and ethnic trends in garments. So during the 1990s, the first years of the new millennium, ethnic style has been once one of the strongest influences in fashion. Designers such as Christian Lacroix, Dries van Noten, John Galliano, Kenzo, and many others have taken the inspiration from a variety of Asian, African, Arctic, Native American, and several other dress forms and aesthetic styles, and created colorful syncretic styles evocative of the past or faraway lands. They've also found sources for ethnic fashion within the West, for example, in the folk tradition of Northern and Eastern Europe. So the fantasy element is strong in ethnic fashion, even when based on detailed research. Design are typically given in a twist, so they appear contemporary. Shall I make a stop, or shall I continue? Because
and I say if we speak a bit slowly.
Okay.
Slowly by slowly, yeah. Bu geleneksel tekstillerden bahsediyor, moda üzerine. İşte değişik kültürlerden Çin, Afrika, Avrupa, Amerika gibi buralardaki değişik kültürlerden esinlenerek tasarımcılar bundan esinlenerek değişik işte, kıyafetler, tasarımlar geliştirmişlerdir. Yeah.
So, looking at clothes design in a stricter sense, ethnic styles were an important element in the intense experimentation with female dress in the first decades of the 20th century. Paul Poiret adapted the lines and silhouette of the Japanese kimono to contemporary dresses, and a few years later he picked Middle Eastern inspiration to a sultan and harem mode of loose garments and bold color combinations. Mariana Fortuny combined inspiration from contemporary Middle Eastern clothing and European art, especially Italian Renaissance, in pleated dresses that follow the lines of the body. His artistic dresses cannot both timelessness, so connote both timelessness and some other specific meaning. They are not made for special occasion, they are beyond it. Seasonal changes, you may notice seasonal changes of fashion that come from within, in the sense that it is less formal and less manifestly visible than the conventional gender code.
Yes.
Shall I continue?
Yeah.
So, next one. So the second wave of ethnic fashion came in the late 60s with such representatives in the haute couture as Yves Saint Laurent and Kenzo. So Yves Saint Laurent was inspired by Africa, creating a series in this 1967. He created a series of delicate gowns from a variety of materials, including straw and golden thread. At a time when industrial production predominated, it was a way for the couturier to renew with artisanal technique. So 10 years later, Yves Saint Laurent created a collection inspired by Spain. So this is the one for spring summer when he was inspired by Africa. You can see the photos here, and you can see the forms, the colors, the materials. So they merge together and they pass that ethnic flavor, which is rather peculiar.
Ya şeyde görünüyor, resimlerde de görülüyor. Daha öncelerden beri nasıl geliştiğini tarihsel olarak etnik tekstillerin, defileleri, giysilerin bundan bahsediliyor. Saint Laurent'den bahsediliyor vesaire. Bir sürü var böyle. Bunlar da kumaşlardaki renklerin değişimi, zamana göre, kültüre göre ne şekilde olduğunu bahsediliyor. Yeah, please.
So this is Twiggy in Yves Saint Laurent African beaded dress, 1967. So the same collection. So the collection I mentioned, inspired by Spain. So here we have the chinoise, the famous chinoise collection. So it followed the Spanish collection. And the exhibition Dreams of the Orient certainly makes a strong case for Saint Laurent's depth of knowledge about and passion for Asian culture, as well as his ingenuity in reinterpreting them. And you can see that he reinterprets the ethnic motifs, and he's really good at it. Actually, I visited the exhibition and I enjoyed it. It is impressive. It seems
bu bahsedilen bu giysileri Susanna kendisi de gördüğünü, işte 1967'den sonra İspanya'da özellikle gelişen tasarım, moda, renkler bahsetti. Kendileri de bunu gördüğünü söyledi. Ziyaret ettiğini. Yeah, please.
So the collection inspired by India. You can see it. So and here we have Kenzo, one of my famous designers, favorite. So Kenzo's first collection was presented in the spring of 1970s. And it consisted of kimono-inspired pieces that rejected the streamlined space-age shifts and slender suits that has dominated the 60s. So nowadays, Kenzo's collections include a variety of ethnic prints and shapes. You can even judge by the pictures that we have here.
1970'lerde Japonya giysisi kimono ve daha sonra da bunun gelişmiş ürünleri etnik olarak günümüze kadar sürmektedir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Please.
So, wedding dress, autumn, winter. Okay. Just a minute, please. Ethnic fashion. So if we go further, we may touch upon something connected with some specific fashion and traditions and clothes, which is just way back. Следующая будет у нас история модных домов. Нет, история So, and you know, and you have already mentioned that I'm the representative of the Circassian nation. So that in this respect, we may speak about our traditions and our specific traces that we live by. And there's some background information for you to understand better what we are doing and what we're involved in. So first written information of Adige skill appeared in the 10th century before Christ. The Arab traveler wrote, Adigs wear white clothes, purple embroidered, gold and other kinds of silk and materials. So history has been hiding the development of that kind of art for 5 centuries. And only in the 15th century, the Italian traveler mentioned that noble Circassian women were skillful embroiderers. And I mentioned that in the legend. That's why in our costume, you can see those traces of embroidery, of galloons, of so hand sewing, which is really peculiar and characteristic of our nation.
1500 yıllardan itibaren Kafkasya'da, Çerkezya özellikle Çerkezlerde işte değişik renkler, beyaz, pembe, kumaş olarak ipekten giysiler yapılmış ve bu Çerkezlerde kendilerine has karakteristik özellikler, işaretler, simgeler vardır.
That's why we may I will give you just a brief review of our traditions and our traditional costume, because you know that the traditions are transmitted by and through national costumes, which are in our case rather so they are ornamented ornamented with embroidery, with decorative elements, with something which impresses everyone who meets a Circassian wearing a national costume.
Ya kendi şimdi Kafkasya'daki özellikle bu Çerkezya'daki kostümlerinden geleneksel olanlardan bahsedilecek ve bunlarda nakış, işleme bu gibi işlerin, sanatların önde olduğunu bahsediyor, önemli olduğunu, kullanıldığını.
So here we have some traces, some images, some pictures of women wearing traditional dresses and men wearing traditional dresses.
Ya burada bu kadın ve erkeklerin geleneksel giysilerini görüyorsunuz. İşte 1500 küsürlerden itibaren.
So you can notice that they are more or less the same.
Hemen hemen aynı olduğunu görüyorsunuz. Hatta şöyle söyleyeyim, kıyafetler biraz da Osmanlı'ya benziyor gibi benim görüşüm.
Yes, women used to wear long dresses and caps that are called pao in the Circassian language. So, and men were warriors mostly. That's why you can see the way they look and get the idea of what their occupation was.
Ya bu kıyafetlerde bunların mesleklerinde ne olduğu anlaşılabiliyor.
So I'm not going to mention some historical facts because here we have so many details that are really important. The period before the war, the period then comes period during the war and a little bit after. But even now, what we have is a medieval dress. So
Bunlar tamamen Kafkasya'daki özellikle Çerkezler bu ağırlıktaki Kafkasya'daki geleneksel giysiler. Ki oraya gittik hala da var bu gibi giysiler. Özellikle folklor da çok gayet iyiler. Aynen bu tür giysiler kullanılıyor.
And those, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, please go.
You know that in earlier times we had a lot of travelers that visited our lands because of the geographical location, and not only. We live in a mountainous area, and you can see that the display of colors is rather rich, and at the same time the colors are not so bright, they are rather reserved, and it means that all the costumes were rather harmonious, and you can see that the harmonious combination of embroidery next with galloons, laces, gold and silver thread is characteristic of any Circassian dress or any Circassian costume.
Yeah. Bu Kafkasya'nın yöresi olarak özellikle tarihsel olarak eskiden daha eskilere gidilirse bütün ulusal düzeyde bir yol üzerindeydi, geçiş yolu üzerindeydi. Böyle olması sonucunda da birçok kültürle beraber tanışmışlar ve haliyle bu kültür tanışmasından da esinlenmiştir. Ve bunların giysilerinde görülüyor böyle çok kontrast renkler değil, uyumlu, harmoni olan renkler kullanılmaktadır. Günümüzde de diyor. Yes.
So the men's suit was rather practical because it was supposed to give you the freedom of movement. At the same time, so it should be laconic but functional. I think this is typical of any ethnic costume because the practical approach is important. And now, when speaking about modern fashion, we talk about comfort, and we think about comfort, and it really matters.
Ya bu kıyafette de görüyorsunuz yine harmoni olduğunu ve bu kıyafetlerin de onun mesleğini de seçilebiliyor. Ve ne kadar komplike olduğu görülüyor. Günümüzde daha konfor olan giysiler tercih edilmektedir.
So you can see here military men. You can see here so men wearing some suits for special occasion, but they all seem alike, and they all have similar elements, similar details.
Ya, bu resimde de görüldüğü üzere bu bir asker kıyafeti ve buradaki elementler, malzemeler genelde hep aynı. Yani askeri olduğu için aynı kıyafetle kullanıma yönelik kıyafetler, malzemeler.
So this is, here we can see women and women dresses. Women in earlier times, they used to wear trousers under their dresses and low or bigger hats, caps called papa.
Ya bu zamanda tabii geçmişten bahsediliyor. Kadın giysileri olarak pantolon, ki bizde de bu var biliyorsunuz, şalvar deniyordu. Pantolon, üzerinde giysi etek ve başta da büyükçe bir başlık kullanıyorlar. Ya.
Okay, so this was a brief review of what we used to have, but nowadays everything is changing. The life is changing rapidly.
Burada gösterilenler eskiden olanlardı, kısa olarak anlatıldı ama günümüzde hayat değişiyor. Ya. Yani giyim değişiyor.
And we speak not only about past, but we speak about future. That's why I would like to introduce the term etnofuturism.
Burada sadece geçmiş değil, gelecekte bahsediliyor. Bu bakımdan da konuşmamın ismini de etnofütürizm olarak seçtim diyor.
So the term, which may be probably known to most of you, first of all deals with literary criticism and comes from the sphere and from the domain of philology. So, but now we apply it to different spheres of human activity and to fashion as well. Shall I continue?
Yeah, burada insanlığın faaliyetleri, işlerine göre ne yapıyor? Ona göre de bu tasarımların değişiklik göstereceğinden bahsediyor.
What matters is that this is not a narrow niche, but a sophisticated long-term trend, I mean etnofuturism. All upcoming luxury and youth brands work in this field, even those who never did ethnics. This is the tendency now.
Ya, eskiden her şey etnikti, gelenekseldi, çok detaylar vardı ama şimdi daha böyle moderne doğru gidiyorlar. Daha bir gösterişe gidiyorlar. Daha bir kullanıma doğru gidiyor gelecek.
This is due to the growth of the national factor, the so-called national factor. The fact that has now become central on the political agenda of many countries, such as the United States, Europe, etc. Modern problems can no longer be solved by existing institutions. What we, I mean the society, needs is to appeal to the roots, to the primary essential source, to the true original knowledge.
Aslında işte Amerika'da, Avrupa'da değişikliğe doğru gidiyor işler. Esasında kurumsallaşarak bir endüstri şeyi kurumsallaştırarak beraberce bu etnik olan giysilerin de gündeme gelmesi diyor. Bunun yararından diyor ki bu önemlidir. Tamamen sanatsal tekstiller bunlar. Evet.
And today we may speak of the renaissance of paganism. So this is the global tendency, I believe. It is not for nothing that this is reflected in modern cinema, for example, which mirrors the reality. Like national directors are in demand. The increase in popularity of multiracial actors is noticed. We have the spread of ethnic issues, motives, etc. So the popularity of such movies as Avatar, the Black Panther, etc. They have all ethnic flavor.
Yeah. Her ne kadar dünya değişiklikleri oluyorsa da bizler diyor bu etnik tasarımın, giysinin önemini, kullanımının yararını düşünüyoruz. Evet.
Etnik Fütürizm is also in demand on the environmental agenda, which is a burning issue.
Bu etnik fütürizm dediği yani bu geleneksel tekstiller günümüze bunun adaptasyonunda aynı zamanda çevresel bir faktördür. Çevreyi koruma olarak, doğallığı açısından, sağlıklı olması açısından. Yeah.
Combination of natural and synthetic materials, fabrics, etc. Some allusion to traditional techniques such as patchwork, embroidery, knitwear, recycled materials, innovative materials. This is what we have today, what we face and what we want today.
Ya günümüzde tabii ki her şey gelişmiştir teknoloji dolayısıyla. Ne vardır? İşte dokuma kumaşlar, örme kumaşlar, nonlar var. Bunlarda değişik örgü şekilleri var, örmeler var, nakışlar var, ekolojik olan vardır, organik olanlar vardır, çevreye koruyucu ki bunlar da önem arz ediyor. Ona doğru artık günümüze doğru gidiyor ve bunlarda bu kurslara da dikkat etmek gerekiyor. Yeah.
Ethnofuturism works with voluminous silhouettes and layering, which is always in demand in fashion, especially now during a pandemic, unfortunately. So following the concept of social distance and self-protection. So the development of digitalization and virtual reality reinforces this theme, giving room for imagination and modern interpretation in of the ethnic theme, of the ethnic trend.
Ya, teknolojinin gelişmesiyle beraber bu etnik olan tekstillerin de ileride daha bir yer bulacağı anlaşılmaktadır.
So Dior, Louis Vuitton, Kenzo, McQueen are famous fashion houses and designers working in the ethno-futuristic bias. In Russia, yeah.
İsimlerine saydığı bir sürü modacı etnik tekstiller üzerinde özellikle son zamanlarda çalışmalarını sürdürmektedir.
So SuzieM, so our laboratory is working in this field as well. So in Turkey, you have those who are interested and work in the field of ethnic fashion as well.
Ya SuzieM diyor etnik tekstiller, tasarımlar yapıyor ki SuzieM'in demiştim şu anda konuşma yapan Susanna'nındır, markasıdır. Kendisi bu konuda çalışıyor. Tabii ki diyor Türkiye'de de bu çalışmalar vardır etnik olan ki öyledir.
So I will speak a little bit about the philosophy of our house, of our brand, of our laboratory, because it is directly connected with what we are talking about today.
Ya şimdi kendi bu SuzieM'in ofisinden, laboratuvarında işleminden ondan bahsedecekler. Ki bu da bu konuşmasının temelini hemen hemen teşkil ediyor.
SuzieM trademark was founded several years ago in the 2005, and it is an exclusive line of ready-made garments and accessories in the style of neo-ethnics.
Yeah. SuzieM 2005 yılında ticari olarak kuruldu. Giyim üzerine, evet, etnik olarak giyim üzerine kurulmuştur. Yeah.
Our lab is engaged in the design and modeling of clothes and accessories with authentic elements of embroidery, weaving, and other handmade elements.
Ya bu kendi, yani bu laboratuvar dediği kendi ofisi oluyor, çalışma yeri oluyor. Burada etnik olarak genellikle fantazi mi diyeyim, böyle sanatsal olan, el emeği olan nakış vesaireyi de ön plana çıkaran çalışmalar yapılmaktadır.
One of the main objectives of the laboratory is to extend the life of rich heritage left by our ancestors. And this is the basic concept. That's why we are involved in the process of experimenting and popularizing of ethnic, mainly Circassian style in fashion.
Bizim de çalışmamızın temeli diyor ki buna inanıyoruz. Kafkasya'daki geleneksel etnik tekstiller üzerinde tasarımlar yapmak, geliştirmek, bunlar üzerine giysiler yapmak. Evet.
So we are after processing and adaptation of the traditional materials to the present days, as well as the usage of handmade embroidery and braid weaving as elements of a modern dress, which could be a fashion trend all over the world.
Biz normalde teknolojiyi de takip ediyoruz. Buna yeni gelişen kumaşları da, materyalleri de dikkate alıyoruz. Ve burada özellikle her zaman da söylediği ki gelenekselde bu vardır. İşleme kumaşlar üzerine de ağırlık veriliyor.
It may also revive interest in the arts and crafts of Circassian people.
Yeah.
Such a mission seems particularly important, taking into account the fact that Circassian embroidery is unique and has no cognates in other cultures in the technology of its production, as well as in its aesthetic outlook and durability of usage.
Kafkasya'daki bu etnik olan bu geleneksel tekstiller çok özeldir, çok fonksiyoneldir, sanat yönleri çok iyidir ve ileride de bunların bir önemli yer teşkil edeceğine inanıyor. Tekstil giyim olarak ki kendisinin de SuzieM markası zaten bunun üzerine bir ideal gibi anlaşılan bunu kurmuş. Yani belki de tamam para kazanmak tabii ki önemli ama bir ideal gibi bu geleneksel, Kafkasya'daki geleneksel tekstillerin tanıtımı, gelişimini sağlamak. Zaten söylemiştim ta baştan tanıştırırken, bu Rusya'da bildiğim kadar dünyada ilktir. Düzenlenen uluslararası geleneksel tekstil, yani geleneksel tekstilden ziyade şöyle defile olarak bu giysinin sunulmasını da organize eden, yapan Susanna Makerova'nın kendisidir. Anlaşılan bu konuda kendisini bu konuda adamış. Evet.
However, due to the lack of demand and other complexity of the production process of such an embroidery, the number of skilled workers has reduced to a few ones throughout the former Circassia. So that's why designers of the creative laboratory experiment on the embroidery techniques. They apply those technologies to some modernized shapes and forms, and this type of clothing follow the trends and follow each season.
Şimdi tasarımcı tabii çok güzel bir konuya değindim. Tasarımını yapıyor. Tabii bu tasarımın olup olamayacağı, üretilip üretilmeyeceği, kumaş, aksesuar olarak diyelim, belki de giysi olarak Bu önemli. Bunun için bunun da eğitimini alması, bunun neyin olup olabileceğini bilip ona göre tasarımını yapması tabii ki çok akılcıdır. Sonunda da güzel bir ürün ortaya çıkar. İşlevli olan, kullanımı olan bir ürün ortaya çıkacaktır.
So, and I have prepared 2 videos for you, so with displaying my collections. One of them is inspired by the eternal images of classical ballet in general, so, and the works of a famous American photographer. So that's why the collection is intended to convey the aesthetics of ballet through fashion as a specific genre.
Ya şimdi Susanna Makerova kendi ofisinin, moda evinin üzerine video gösterecektir. Susanna, you know, the time almost getting up. I hope, how long it takes, the video?
Once again, please.
Because time is getting up. It's about 1 hour. Maybe we can extend it a little bit. How long this video will take?
So,
maybe within, so it is 53, maybe with 3-4 minutes time, if you finish, then we have questions.
Okay, then I will show you something else, just a piece of it, and I will stop. Okay.
Okay, thanks. We can't see anything. Will it start?
You can't see anything?
No. Only there is a column share replication fashion, ethnic fashion. It shows the links.
Ah, you don't see it?
No. Not movie, we don't see.
No?
No, there is music only.
Okay. Потому что линк вы как-то через интернет, а второй включи. So, this one.
Где сливаются воды.
Only sound, speaking okay, but no, there's no looking, no video.
Okay, then this one that had so the presentation, this one, it has some of my images. I will show them to you, and then I have prepared for you 2 collections. The first one that was called, or that is called, The Undamaged Blossom, and the second one, Circassian Gardens Future. So it is divided.
You know, Susanna, what I'm saying, you can send them if you like to me by email.
Okay, I got it. I understand.
Then we can put some of them. We look to our department website.
Okay.
As a link. Okay.
Okay, then.
Yeah, if you can just a few words, you can finish it. Then we have questions.
Плометрика покажи. So, and here what we face nowadays is that we are trying to transform our collection, our cultural heritage, and plus fashion into digital space. And we are producing some digital collections. We're about to launch a new project with Clametrica and Replicant Fashion. So these are our partners. And here is a small glimpse of what we are talking about right now. Can you see it?
Yes.
So this is digital fashion, something that exists as a concept.
The digital Moda.
Digital model, but you can just get the dress you want and put it on you And this way you may transform your appearance in a digital space through digital technology. So here's digital garment, which looks real, but exists only in digital reality.
Dijital tasarım bu ürünlerin gösterimi tabii ki çok önemli. Özellikle şu korona düşünülürse ki böyle çok çalışmalar vardır, projeler vardır. Hiç bir gidip gelmeden ürünün gerçeğe yakın görünümü, ona göre de belki ticaretin yapılması, pazarlanması, değişikliğin yapılması tasarımlar arasında. Evet, yeah.
So it can be produced from most incredible fabrics and not always follow the laws of physics, actually. So no physical natural resources are required to create digital garment. So I am
herhangi bir fiziksel bir şey yok, yani gelip gitme, tutma bir şey yok. Sadece her şey internet ortamında oluyor. Evet.
So it's all about ecology and environment as well.
Ya burada ekoloji ürünlerde ve çevre önemli oluyor.
So you don't have to buy a new physical garment if you only need another catchy Instagram, for example. And we may create an outlook for you. So this one is created by Replicant Fashion and Climatrica. Climatric is a video technology, and it's like an interactive fitting room. You can put on everything you want and feel yourself real wearing a new piece of clothes. So how to wear a digital outfit, etc. Here you have this digital coat. So actually they already had a special collaboration with Gucci, Puma. So these are the guys that are really trendsetters in this field. And I hope that we will have a new project together. And following the concept that we present here, we may produce clothes that really exist, that are real, and that you can wear in real life. Here it is.
Yeah. Burada görüyoruz da dijital ortamda ki dediğim gibi korona dolayısıyla bayağı gündemde böyle gerçeğe yakın görünüyor. Giysilerin gösterilme, tasarlanması ve ona göre de ticaretinin yapılması ki bu ilerleyen zamanlarda belki korona buna bir sebep olmuştur. İlerleyen zamanlarda bu gibi dijital ortamda ki bu vardır, devam ediyor e-ticaret dediğimiz. Bunun üretim yönü de gündeme bir kısmı gelmiş. İlerleyen zaman içerisinde daha da fazla gelecektir. Ve şunu tekrar edeyim, Hoca şu anda söylediği, şu anda tekstillerde etnik, yani geleneksel, ekolojik, organik olma önem kazanıyor.
So we have a new concept that is called smart fashion and smart clothes. These are interactive T-shirts that may just react to any technical device, like a gadget, for example, and you may activate the print with the help of this device. So it was an international flash mob that gathered a number of designers, famous designers all over the world on our platform, and we produced a special product, which is a T-shirt, an interactive T-shirt that we spread all over the world, and it looks nice, and it is interactive, it works.
Ya so, biz diyor çok iyi olduğunu inandığımız tişört üretip bunu tüm dünya satıyoruz, pazarlıyoruz, gönderiyoruz. Yeah. Is it okay? Will you finish? Because time is ending, because the question times will come.
So I would like to give best regards from the chairman of the Etna Moda Festival, Alexander Hilkevich, who predicted the burst of interest and popularity of ethnofuturism 20 years ago. So he said that this style will be displayed all over the world and it will be popular. So we illustrated on the platform of Etna Moda Festival in the Adige State University, which I represent. So his best regards. In this period when you face all those difficulties concerning the pandemic, and not only you, we all face them, and he is sure that the situation will improve and there will be possibility of a future work and collaboration with your university and the fruitful collaboration, and we wish you good luck and fruitful development to the Turkish textile industry in general. Thank you for having invited me. I think this was, I don't know, this was
great.
Useful to some of the students.
Yeah, thank you. Also, please give my regards to Alexander Hilkevich. Thanks for his comments. I believe we do good work as a team, you know, the team. And this year, I'm trying to find a sponsor for this festival, internship festival you have. I think I can succeed because the sponsor is very important, especially last year Etno Moda fair. There was great fabrics, movie taken, everything. The artist, modelist, there was great ones. So I know what to do. So they need naturally money. I also talked this some textiles people here in Turkey. I think we can succeed to find sponsors.
I hope so. Anyway, thank you for your participation and for your support all the time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Susanna. You spend your time for us, for our students. They see
My
face
pleasure.
to face. It's nice. I always take international relation is so important. You get new view, new vision. Yeah. So let's ask our students or any students, maybe your students, if they have any question. Especially our students. Any question? Also, our lecturers can ask questions.
Students usually don't have any questions.
Our usually have.
You know, we teach them. That's why they're good at everything.
If one starts, then they start. No, I tell them, never think your question is simple. Some simple view might become very, very important, can solve lots of problems.
Yeah, but this is a sophisticated issue. So that's why the problem that we raise is really important. Because this is not only about fashion, but about ethnic flavor of fashion, which is a revival of interest to the history. So I think that's why I could give them some advice, actually, because they should learn from the past, but work for the present. And not, you know, they should be careful not to imitate what you once saw. Be innovative.
Size nasihat ediyor, hiçbir zaman diyor kopyacı olmayın. Bir şeyi kopya etmeyin tasarımda. Kendi öz fikrinizi ortaya koyun. Evet, just moment, kıyafetler. Yeah, there is a question saying, the clothes you wear, is it your own SuzieM clothes?
Oh, Seva's question. So yes, this is a t-shirt. You see, what's next? We launched the flash mob during the pandemic, and I touched upon the problem. And the print was produced by graphic designer from the graduate of college in London. So she's really good at it. And this is one of the popular t-shirts from our collection. And when you activate it, here you have the picture of a small tree which starts growing and blooming on your screen. Kind of play, you know, the interaction with the one who watches you.
Well, if you wish, in our department, we do also the printing.
That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, in some cases, in some level, we can do something together, maybe.
We will, I'm sure, and I really appreciate that you're always open.
Yeah, also you said before that maybe in your department or university, you might have a bit greater, better facilities, and if you could help, so no problem, as we said. Ya bu şeyde bir dakika, hep İngilizce konuşuyorum, tercüme edeyim. Bu soruda giydiğinin kendi markası olup olmadığını dedi. Bu tişört kendi markası, modeli bu kendisinin. Yalnız oradaki o baskıyı İngiltere'de yaptırdı. Aşağıda da belki bedenine doğru da değişik bilgiler var. Ben de dedim yani isterseniz biz de hatta bölümümüzde bu tür baskıları da yapabiliriz. Biraz esprili belki ama zaten yapabiliriz. Ne de olmasın dedi. Biz zaten her türlü işbirliği için önceden de konuşmuştuk. Evet. Yeah, any question please?
So I believe they should go down their path. They should try and avoid the major traps they may fall into, such as literally copying traditional clothes and appropriating specific designs, trying to find their own technique, try to create their own face, their own image, their own style. This is something that really matters. And always find the inspiration. You may be constantly inspired by traditional garments without copying them.
Yeah, there is a question, what is your main point when you design in general? When you do design, what is the main idea?
Tell the story.
Story.
Tell the story. This is always some story and some historic flavor with cultural flavor.
Yeah, thank you. Biraz önce de bahsetti zaten konuşmasında, bir tasarım yapacağınız zaman da geçmişten olan olaylara bakın, oradan esinlenin. Şu anda verdiği cevapta geçmiş olaylar, hikayeler, olaylar, onlardan esinlenerek yapıyorum diyor. Evet. Başka var mı? Zaten süre Sema'nın dediği en son 10 geçeye kadar 9 geçiyor. Evet. Yoksa soru kapatabiliriz. Yeah, it looks yeah, no question, someone said. Yeah, okay, we can close it because of the time. Thanks very much, Susanna. It looks like you are in Istanbul, in our department. When you talk face to face, yes. And well, we thank you a lot to spending your valuable time for us. As you know, we also like to do any help for you, whatsoever you require, you ask, okay? Thank you very much.
Looking forward to seeing you here and visiting you there. So welcome to the Republic of Adige, the Adige State University. So welcome to the Moda Festival. I hope that we will see each other rather shortly. And all the best to your students. I'm convinced that they are really talented, and I wish them good luck, creativity, energy, inspiration,